Guys, Savvy Tech Girl here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the first part of our computer lessons. We're using Windows 10 and this is Computer Basics. In the overview that I provided, you can find that in the playlist in the channel. It explained that we're going to be talking about what an operating system is, what apps and programs are, what desktop icons are or shortcuts, and also what our actual desktop is. So those are the things that we're going to start with, and we're also going to go into down in the lessons further what a control panel is, how you can change your desktop pictures, how you can add icons and things like that. So today, what is an operating system? So you can see on my screen here that we have Windows 10 version that I'm running for these training purposes. When you turn your computer on, this is what you're going to see. This is all part of the operating system. Okay, so we have a start button down here, and we'll go into these in more detail. We have some little pictures here, programs and apps. We have a time down here. We have speakers. We have something showing us we're connected to the internet. We have notifications. All these things come with an operating system. We have something like Microsoft Edge. That would be what you call a program. Okay, the operating system itself, and I'm just going to start up my whiteboard here, is going to give the computer right here the opportunity to speak to peripheral devices. Okay, what is a peripheral device? Well, we have a printer is an example of a peripheral device. I'm a messy writer with my mouse. We have a mouse. That's a peripheral device. We have a keyboard. That's a peripheral device. Okay, so all these would not talk to your computer without an operating system. Right? So the computer basically has a program in it that when you plug in your printer to your computer, most of the time it's going to see that printer and it's going to install it for you, and then you're going to be able to send print jobs to it and work your printer. Same thing happens with your mouse. You plug a mouse into the computer and it sees the mouse, and within 30 seconds you're able to use the mouse. Again, keyboard would be the same thing, and I guess one big one that we would need in order to do any of this and see what we're doing is a monitor. Right? So without the monitor, you wouldn't be able to see what's happening behind the scenes. So you plug your monitor into your computer, the computer sees the monitor, and then you see a picture on your screen. So these are all examples of what we would call a peripheral device. Okay, you could even plug your phone in if you wanted to get photos off of it, right? Sometimes you even just plug it in to charge it. But again, you plug it in, the computer sees it, and then you can use it and interact with it. So that's what an operating system does for you. Most of the time you really don't need to know much about the operating system and how it works, but knowing what an operating system is makes a big difference. I get the question a lot, what's the difference between Windows 10 and Microsoft Office, which is now Office 365. I think that confusion comes from the word Microsoft, right? Because Microsoft makes Windows 10, which is the operating system. It also makes Office, which is a group of programs or applications that you can interact with a computer. You can make yourself a word processing document. You can make yourself a spreadsheet. I think the word Microsoft confuses people. So the difference between Office and Windows is Office is a group of programs that you would use to create documents, whereas the operating system, Microsoft Windows, just comes pre-installed on your computer, and that's what talks to all your peripheral hardware devices. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're going to talk about. Let's clear this board here, and let's talk about apps. Right? So apps or programs. So if you look on my screen here, you're going to see these icons. And again, let's put the word icon down because we're also going to talk about that. So icons or shortcuts are just quick ways of opening a program. So if I double click this Microsoft Edge, which is an internet browser, that icon shortcut opens up this program. Okay, so Microsoft Edge is the program, and this little picture is the icon. So click the icon, the program opens. Where else can we find programs that are installed? You can see all these pictures on my desktop. This is a program. Your programs, your desktop icons will look different. But this would link to a program which runs on your computer or an app, and the same as this would. Now if we look at what our desktop is, you might hear people say go to your main desktop on the computer. This is your desktop. Okay, so your desktop, you will see icons and pictures. You'll see a recycle bin most of the time, and we can change what we see on here, and we'll go through all that. Your desktop is your start menu. Your desktop is the search area, the tab along the bottom, your task menu, your time, your date, and we have some extra areas here. So this area that you work on every day, the first screen that you see, that is your desktop. Okay? Let's go to the Start menu. So the Start menu looks different than it did in Windows 10. We now have just a little Windows icon, and you click on that, and that's going to open up from your Start menu where all your programs are installed. So in alphabetical order, these are all apps or programs that are installed on the computer. Again, I can click on that word from the menu, and it opens up the program. Okay, so then I'm just going to close that for now. So go back to the Start menu, and our Start menu in alphabetical order. Now you can see recently used is at the top here. Alphabetical order are all the programs that are currently installed on your computer. All the different areas that you can go. We also have the power option. So you put your mouse over the icon and you'll see power settings. I can click on power and it gives me the option to shut down or restart. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to click away. We have the settings icon. These are all things that we'll go into in detail throughout the lessons. So the settings, this is more of a simplified version of what used to be the control panel. So you can still get into the control panel by typing it within the search, and I will show you that later as well. But this is going to be an area where you're going to be able to, say, add a printer quickly, change your display settings quickly. Okay. So here we got system, devices, phone, personalize, and again we will go into all of these in detail in each separate video. Okay, back to our Start menu. Pictures, that's going to be a quick link to any photographs that you have put on the computer, and your documents folder will be next. So you can see I clicked pictures and it automatically opened up your File Explorer window to your pictures folder. And then if I go into my Start menu again, you can go into Documents, which will open up your Documents folder. Okay, you can also see at the bottom we have a folder here. I'm going to close this, open up from this picture here, the yellow picture, and that will also take you into your File Explorer. we'll go into full detail of the File Explorer in a separate video. Okay, I just want to show you how to get around the desktop on the computer. Go back into our Start menu, and you can see on the right hand side we have some tiles. These are called tiles. They're also shortcuts that will open up the program. So again, I click on this, it's going to open up Microsoft Edge. I can go back into my Start menu, and I can right click on these tiles, and we can unpin it from the start. If you don't want to see that icon anymore, you can unpin it. So let's just go to the Office one, and I'm going to unpin that from the start and take it away. So now we only have 2. I can also right click with your mouse button on this icon tile. I can resize it so I can have a small tile. You can hold your left mouse button and hold it down, and you can move these tiles around. Okay, I can right click again, resize it, and I can have a wide tile. Again, hold with the left mouse button, and you can move around. You can also create other categories. So this one's called Productivity. So I can hold the left mouse button, drag the tile down, and you'll see this big blue line show up. Let go of the mouse button. Now you have a new group. So I can name that, and let's call it Shopping. Okay, so now we have a shopping area and a productivity area. Alright, so these are called tiles. Right click again, and you can see more. You can turn live tile off, and I'm just going to show you what live tile does. So click on more, turn live tile on. Live tile will just it'll scroll through and maybe show pictures, or it'll just look, instead of static just with an E there, if that tile has that option, you'll see rotating pictures, and it's just more interactive. Okay, so that's our Start menu. So Start takes you into your programs that are installed on the computer, and takes you into your settings, which is the easier version of the control panel. Quick links to pictures, quick links to documents, and it shows the user's name that's currently using the computer. Okay, the next thing on the desktop we can look at is the bottom right hand corner. We have something called notifications. So anytime your computer wants you to know something, you can see that at 8:25 this morning the Photo Media Engine add-on was installed on my computer. That's because I went to the Start menu and I clicked on the pictures. No, I clicked on the video editor. And as soon as I clicked on the video editor, it installed that add-on for me, that feature. Okay, you can go into night light mode, and that's just going to work with the time of day. It's going to change the look and the feel, the coloring, the color scheme on the computer. Tablet mode, if you have a say Surface Pro, a computer, a desktop, or a laptop with a touchscreen monitor, tablet mode allows you to have an easier look and feel, like you're working on a tablet and you're not working on a laptop. Okay, so you can see how the icons have got larger, more of a point and click with your finger type of setup. Right, and the bottom taskbar menu change, so you have bigger icons that you would click on. Alright, manage notifications. Sometimes you don't want to see all the notifications that are automatically going to be sent to you. Notifications by default show notifications on lock screen, so if your computer's, say, gone back to where you have to log into it, they're going to show reminders and phone calls, play sounds with it. These are all things you can turn off. Notifications for the Microsoft Store, if I don't want to see those, I can turn them off, and that allows you to turn on and off any of the notifications that come through. Okay, so time and date. If I right click on time and date with my mouse button, I can adjust if needed. And that will take us into the control panel where we can adjust our time. So we can set time automatically, set your time zones automatically. If I turn automatic off, it allows me to change the time manually. I could change it in here manually. I'm going to cancel it. And you can also change your time zone manually as well. Okay, so it's changed my time to 11:31, which is the time zone I am in. And then I can just close that. So now my time and my date. So again, to adjust the time and date, if it doesn't look right, take your mouse, put your mouse over, and you can see a little grayed in area now. Right click and adjust date and time. Okay. We have a speaker icon. Click on it with your left mouse button. You can turn the volume up or down accordingly. So you just hold that left mouse button and slide up and slide down. Okay. This little computer monitor looking icon is showing that we have access to the internet. So I've plugged a cable into the back of my computer and it's showing that it's working. If it had a red X, it's actually a red circle with a white X and or a yellow exclamation mark, that would show you that for whatever reason you're not connected to the internet. And if I click on this where it's blue, network and internet settings, it will again take us into the control panel and show us in a little bit more detail, but it's showing that the computer is plugged in to the internet and all these are blacked out, which means that they are working. So those are just the basics to show you what these little pictures, these icons are at the bottom of the screen. This is showing my OneDrive, which is a cloud drive. I'm not signed into it, so that's grayed out. But anything that comes up in this right hand side of your taskbar is programs that are started when you turn your computer on. So my OneDrive is not signed in. Windows security actions are recommended, so we're going to click on that in a little bit and take care of that. And then I'm using VirtualBox to run this, so I have a little icon here. Again, your icons are not going to look the same as mine. You're going to have different pictures on your desktop, different shortcuts. But again, this is called the desktop. These are called icons, and each icon shortcut will start a program for you. And then we have our taskbar along the bottom. So if I wanted to change these pictures along the bottom, again, these are just quick ways that you don't have to go to the start menu and then scroll down and find the program, right? Instead of having to do that, see, I had to go all the way to the bottom to find that purple icon, Visual Studio, whereas here I have it just along the bottom taskbar. I can right click this icon and unpin it from the taskbar if I don't want to see it there. I can also go into my start menu, and let's say I would like to add the blend for Visual Studio, this icon, down to the bottom. So if I want to use it, I can click on it really quickly. I put my mouse over so you can see it's got a little gray background, put my mouse over, right click, and I'm going to pin it to the taskbar. Okay, so left click to pin to the taskbar, and now that's there. If I want to take it away, I go down to the taskbar, right click, and unpin from taskbar. If I were to do the same thing and go here for this icon, but I want it to put it in my start menu, I can right click and pin to start, and it's going to add it to my start area for quick icons. It's just easier to see this big icon sometimes than to scroll through. And let's say we go down here, the Visual Studio, pin it to start. Well, now it's a lot quicker, right? I go to my start menu and I say, oh, well, there it is, instead of scrolling all the way down to the bottom. And again, to scroll up and down, just make sure your mouse is in the area that you want to move up and down, and you can either go to this gray line, hold your left mouse button and go up and down, and let go of your left mouse button, and you can just move within this area. Okay, if I go back over here, hold my left mouse button, bring it up to here, I'm just going to be moving my mouse and selecting within that group. All right. So we have the taskbar along the bottom. We have the search area. So if we wanted to search for something, you know you've put something on your computer, you can't remember where you put it, you would start typing the name in. I can say Edge. It's going to search for anything with those 3 letters in it, and it's recommended that Microsoft Edge is what I was looking for. Alright, so that's just quickly what the search is. Another video we can go in and you can see how you can search for document settings on the internet. Alright, so I think I'm going to end that video here. That gives you a very quick overview of what a desktop is and some of the functions, some of the things that you can do from the desktop. So from what we're taking away from that, we have icons that start apps, applications, or programs. We have a start button, which will allow us to turn our computer off. It'll allow us to find a program to open. We have our taskbar at the bottom, which is again a quick link to do things. And then you have an information area to the right, giving you notifications, letting you know what time and day it is, volume, and are you connected to the internet. Alright guys, so that's it for the first video. Join me for the second one, where we're going to take a deeper look into the start menu and adding things to the start menu and taking programs out of the start menu. Anything you would like to see in these videos, please send me an email, savvytechgirl@gmail.com, and I will add them to the videos. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.